We see you getting after your fitness goals. But what about those money goals? You can count on Credit Karma for a clear view of your finances and your progress, helping you see results so you can keep checking off those financial personal bests and find your way to money. Progress never felt so good. Download the Intuit Credit Karma app and start achieving your money goals today. Intuit Credit Karma. Karma you can count on.
All right, welcome back to In the Mind of a Man with Jax Taylor. I got a good one here today. How's everybody doing? Great episode today. I have one of my good buddies in studio, and well, you definitely all know who he is. He's literally the master, or should I say royalty, of competition shows. He's even a 7-time challenge winner. He's also on last season's Traitors, House of Villains with yours truly. He made a cameo on Love Island with Ariana. We got to get into that. What haven't you really been on? Have you not been on Vanderpump Rules in the Valley? Well, maybe we'll have to make that happen.
We got to make that happen. I have not been on To Catch a Predator with Chris Hansen.
Well, let's welcome Johnny frickin' Banana.
Thanks for having me, man.
I gotta say, that's seriously impressive. 7-time challenge winner.
Yeah.
After the 4 or 5, was it kind of like they're just gonna give it to you think, or did you have to earn it every time?
No, so that's the problem. The more I won, the more they would do to try and prevent me from winning.
Really?
They went as far as, and I'm not a conspiracy theorist, although I left my tinfoil hat in the other room. This past season of the challenge that they did, they had this thing at the end called a karma vote. The way it worked is you go throughout the season, everyone that gets eliminated rates the remaining players on a scale of 1 to 5, 1 being the worst karma, 5 being the best.
Uh-huh.
I had the lowest number of karma votes in the house, which then affects your score at the end. So say you place second, but the person who placed behind you has better karma than you, they could leapfrog you, and then you drop to third, and then they'd go to second. So I honestly feel like production put the karma vote in as a fail-safe, just in case I won, I wouldn't win.
Interesting. Were you just devastated when you make it all that way? I know fuck, especially I even just watching you on House of Villains, and I couldn't even handle the food. I would have just bowed out at the food. When I came back and saw you guys eating that, I would be like, I know, not 150, whatever the price was, I'm not doing it.
I've been doing it for a long time.
I know, you're so weathered. You're kind of you'd expect
grizzled old war dog.
Yeah. I mean, I got to say, well, anyway, can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
Can you give a ballpark of your total earnings?
A ballpark.
Ballpark. I'm not saying give me a number, but
prize money on the challenge. I've won $1,175,000.
Okay.
However,
and when they pay you this,
yes.
Is it a check? Do you get a check handed to you right then, or do they mail it to you?
You get half. You get half when the first episode airs, and you get half when the last episode airs, which is to prevent you from breaking any of the rules throughout the season.
Yeah.
Spilling tea.
Yeah, I've gotten in trouble before.
My issue, I've never gotten in trouble for fighting. There's people who've been kicked. I'm going to my 25th season of the challenge. So,
are you doing it right now, or are you getting ready to do it? 25 seasons?
Yeah, dude.
How old were you when you started?
23. So they do more than in the beginning. It was 1 season a year. Then they started doing 2, and now they do. This isn't even including spinoffs either. This is
so. Are you just
seasons.
Automatically there? You're
yes.
in. You don't even have to. You're royalty.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah.
I mean,
you earned your stripes.
Captain Save a Show.
Would you say you're the admiral?
Yeah.
Of which is the highest ranking in the Navy? Would you say you're the admiral of the challenge? The challenge,
in all honesty, and I'm saying this sitting across from reality television royalty as well.
Appreciate that.
I've logged more reality television hours than anyone else ever in the history of the genre.
Wow.
So, I started in 2005. The challenge is filmed for, between 8 to 10 weeks.
Yeah.
I'm going into my 25th season.
Yeah.
And they film, 24 hours a day. And that's not even including all the other projects that I've had on the side. So
right.
I basically compare myself to, you ever see The Truman Show?
Yeah.
People a lot of my fans have watched me grow up.
Yeah,
from the age of 23 to now I'm 42.
I would like to say the same, but I just never grew up.
Yeah.
So
I haven't either. Because, grow old, don't grow up.
Grow up. Peter Pan syndrome, baby.
Yeah.
So For those of you guys who don't know, first time I met Johnny was on House of Villains, which I'm shocked that we had never met sooner because you and I are very, very similar in a lot of different ways. And the reality world is very small. We go to a lot of the same functions. We have a lot of the same friends. We kind of do crossovers. So the world is very small, but shockingly, we've never met.
I have met people from your world.
Yeah, you and I have just never crossed paths.
Met, obviously Tom and Tom. I met them. I actually met Tom Sandoval, funny enough, at a karaoke bar.
Shocking.
I met him and fucking Chad from Nickelback together.
Oh, he's like, yeah. So Chad came to my apartment. He introduced me from Chad. Came into my man cave, sat down, was telling me he's from Canada, yada yada, having these whole stories about hockey. He just walked in with Chad from. I'm like, you're coming into my apartment with Chad from Nickelback? I'm like, all right, come on in.
So the night I met is the same night I met Tom too.
Schwartz?
No, Sandoval. Some girl comes up to me. First, me and Tom are like shotgunning beers or whatever, because I'd known Sheena from prior to that. And some girl comes up to me and goes, "Yo, my boyfriend wants to meet you." And I was like, "All right, cool." She goes, "We're huge fans. We're from Canada." I walk up and it's fucking Chad from Nickelback. And he goes, "Bananas, what up, man?" He goes, "When I want to watch really shitty reality TV, I put on The Challenge." I'm like, "Oh, when I want to listen to shitty music, I put on Nickelback." And then after that, we were like fast friends, dude.
That's awesome.
Fucking singing karaoke together, crushing beers. It was a good time.
For those of you, like I said, don't know that him and I have been on the House of Villains together. Did you watch season 2? Did you watch?
Yeah.
I can't believe New York got invited back.
I know.
I was shocked. The one that did the least on the fucking show.
I think New York, here's the thing. This is the first time I'd been on a reality show where I felt like I was there with like reality television professionals.
Yeah, they were good. I was way out of my league.
And the thing is like you have Omarosa, you've got New York, who literally know how right when the camera's on or when they need to have that moment, and they realize, hey, I'm here to earn a paycheck. I don't need to be on 24 hours a day. New York would get all glamored up, come downstairs, light someone on fucking fire, have her moment, turn around and fucking leave.
See,
and it made every episode.
That's the difference from your reality world versus my reality world. Like it's like a docuseries of like our lives. And like I wasn't used to, like, obviously I didn't do my homework. Like my manager told me, he's like, you need to watch The Challenge. You need to watch Big Brother. I'm like, fuck that. I'm going to go in and bully my way through.
Yep.
Sure enough, that didn't happen. But I didn't know about alliances and this and skill. It's a fucking chess match. It really, really is. And
here's the thing that fucked you.
I was outplayed.
It's not even that, though. This is what fucked you on House of Villains, and I've said this time and time again. Had the first challenge not been physical, you would have been fine. The problem was we went in, and sometimes on these shows, losing is actually winning.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
And that was the thing, is a lot of times, especially the way it worked, you got to put 3 people up for elimination. You're potentially going to be looked at as a target because you're good. That's why when we got down to me and Omarosa, I was like, you can have the win. Just don't send me in. That way, all the heat is on you for making the decision. And because you went out there like a fucking wrecking ball and were just like beating the shit out of everyone, dude. They were like, all right, you gave them.
I gave them fuel. I did. Like, give them a reason. I gave them a reason. Like, what did she say? You thought this was the fucking Super Bowl. I'm like, I thought I was going to bully my way through. And I didn't realize, dude, you could lose and come out as first. Like, people are sitting in the corner doing shit.
But here's the other thing is you come from what it seems like a competitive sports background where the only option is to win, especially if you're doing something like that. And again, sometimes you almost have it's more politics, dude. You got to dial it back a little bit, and it's like, all right, let somebody else win, let them have the heat, and don't put an unnecessary target on your back.
And like I said, I've never been on a challenge elimination type show. Like I was just so unprepared.
Yeah.
I was just really.
I know, you were gone too soon, bro.
I was out of my league. But I was invited back. I got to come back and watch you eat some crazy shit, and then I got invited back for season 2. The guys get to come to my bar.
Yeah.
I gave them a little bit of advice, and it was fun. I was really honored. The crew and the production, they were all awesome. I was glad to be part of that. Yeah, love to come back. If you guys are hearing, I'll definitely come back and I'll do better.
Yeah.
So. Third place challenge on Challenge 40, the third place finish.
Yeah.
How do you feel about it?
I just said I felt like that's where I was destined to be. If you watch the final, it was all fucking swimming. You don't know what the final is going to be. We got to the Philippines and this little island called El Nido. First time they ever did a challenge that was all swimming. We basically were on this decrepit old trawler and we had to jump off and swim 500 fucking meters. And so anyone who doesn't know how long 500 meters is, that's like 5 Olympic pools, I think. Or how long is an Olympic pool? I don't know. It's a long way. It's 3 football
So
fields.
you had to swim that from beginning to end?
No.
No.
One length, dude.
Oh, one length. That's what I meant.
Jump
Beginning
off,
to end.
Yeah. So here's what the boat was: the beginning and finish line for every checkpoint. Jump off the boat, swim 500 meters to shore, complete a task, which could be put a puzzle together, run on the beach for a few miles, whatever, get back in the water and swim back. Just so happens one of the guys who was there is an absolute freak of nature. He's a triathlete. The guy fucking swims in the open ocean for fun. So as soon as I realized, A, there was karma, which was going to screw me, and then I'm swimming against the triathlete, I'm like, dude, we're not even fighting for first anymore. I'm fighting for second.
Yeah.
And that's what it came down to. It came down to me and this guy, Derek Chavez, duking it out for second. And again, he just kind of bested me. So third, I mean, was I happy about third? No. But at this stage in my career, I'm 42 years old. It's my 25th season. I don't have that fire in me that I used to win anymore because once you've won, it's like, what the fuck? What am I? You know what I mean? It's only lateral moves from here. And I'm competing against guys who are in their 20s.
Yeah.
Who are way hungrier.
I know.
All right. Who are way like in much better shape.
Yeah.
And it's so me and I show up day one and I've got the entire house against me, dude. I have
But you have some friends on there.
Okay, I do, but here's what's funny.
Nobody's your friend when you get in the
it gets
house.
to the end, nobody's my best friend this season, Leroy, gave me a 1. So
it's a game, though. So
it's a game.
You can hold it against them?
No, I don't hold it against them. But what I'm saying is the road for me to make it to a final is so much steeper and so much more difficult than anybody else there. So for me, just making it there,
yeah,
with all of the unknowns and all the unexpected shit and all the parity in the game, just making it there at this point in my career is a win. So placing third, out of 20 of the fucking biggest dogs who ever been on the show. Like, I mean, dude, this is season 40, Battle of the Eras, so it's all of the best for the last 40 seasons.
Right.
And I'm competing against, 19 of the best guys who've ever done the show.
What do you think? Like, I'd have to believe that production, when you do retire from this, I have to believe that production would reach out to you and say, hey, listen, what would you think about joining on the other side of the camera? Because I think you're very knowledgeable in the game. You know, cool, different obstacles. Would you be a part of the production side?
It depends on what the role would be. I don't know, dude. I'd say what I'd want to do more than anything would be hosting.
Yeah, I could see you doing that. Yeah, that would be your next transition into the games, right?
But here's the thing, is the host that we have is the challenge, dude. TJ is the guy, dude.
So do you think they would maybe ever ask you to guest host maybe? Maybe be part of a competition or something like that? Kind of like what I did in House of Villains.
Yeah.
Be a part of something?
Yeah, I'd be down. I'd be down. I would totally be down to do that. But for now, I mean, I'm going back, most likely for the next season. Every season is like, a test. Like, can I do it? So for now, I'm going to, keep on riding until the wheels fall off.
So that's the next show you're doing?
Yeah.
Yeah. You got any other shows lined up?
Yeah, potentially. I can't really talk about it. I also have a docuseries that I'm in the process of formalizing an agreement with. It's going to be a docuseries based on my life in South Florida. Mm-hmm. And, it's going to be kind of like Entourage meets Jackass. So I'm going to kind of have my, band of minions around. And, we're just going to be documenting all of our shenanigans.
Awesome. That's awesome.
That's
really, really cool.
Yeah.
I mean, I would love, I even kind of hinted at it. When I go to 30 Rock, when I go to New York and I do press, I go to the Bravo offices. I'm like, if you guys ever want to put me on the other side of the camera, I wouldn't mind, because I think I know a lot, and I think I could help figure things out during production, and I see things before they do. I can see things happening, and they laughed about it, but I would be willing to go on the other side. You know what that's called?
We're just cut from a different cloth, man. Yeah. And and they can bring as many new people on as they want, and these people come, but there's just something different about, I feel like, old school reality TV personalities. We're just fucking built different, dude. And I think a lot of that has to do with how soft these new generations are.
Exactly.
And everyone's so worried about how they're going to appear on social media. Am I going to get likes? Am I going to lose followers? Are my fans? Who gives a fuck? Go on. Fly your freak flag, all right? Be the most, in my opinion, the most controversial version of yourself you can be. You're here to make TV. You're here to create friction. And if people understand that, they do, and if they don't, they don't. But that's what's gonna, separate you from the crowd.
When I came back from reality TV, because it was when I came back when I came back to TV after taking a break, I got to tell you, I was extremely, extremely nervous because it was the Wild West.
Yes.
Before I guess you can say the big movement. It was the Wild West. You could do whatever you want. You can get away with whatever you want. You could say whatever you want. And I have a problem. I don't have a filter. That's my downfall. I had to be very careful that I didn't offend it. I don't want to offend people.
Yeah.
Sometimes I just say things without thinking. I shoot first, ask later. It gets me into a lot of trouble. And I don't want to offend anybody, but we had to be very careful coming back. What are the new rules? What are the do's and the don'ts? And I'm like, are people still going to like me? Am I not going to be as fun anymore? Am I going to be boring? I was very worried about that.
Yeah.
We're well into 2025 now, which means New Year's resolutions are starting to become New Year's compromises. If one of your goals was to eat healthier, Tempo can help you stay strong with their delicious, fast, calorie-conscious meals made with real ingredients. Tempo is a weekly delivery service that delivers chef-crafted meals from a dietitian-approved menu fresh to your door. Tempo serves up fast, feel-good, single-serving meals that are crafted to cook in just 3 minutes, so you can eat well without sacrificing taste or convenience. I just had this white wine garlic chicken breast that came with cauliflower and green beans, and it was delicious. I was running around, late for something, and also starving, so I grabbed that meal out of my fridge, heated it up, ate it, and threw the container right in the trash. It was so fast and easy, and like I said, delicious. Tempo offers a variety of meals for different dietary and taste preferences, including protein-packed, calorie-conscious, carb-conscious, and fiber-rich. And for a limited time, Tempo is offering my listeners 60% off your first box. Go to TempoMills.com/realityhits. That's TempoMills.com/realityhits for 60% off your first box. That's such a good deal. TempoMills.com/realityhits. Rules and restrictions may apply.
I will say this, dude, and this is the thing about reality, especially not just cast members, but fans. They know they can spot someone who is not authentic better than anyone. So even if you come on and you're saying, quote unquote, boring, if that's who you are, then that's so much more likable than you coming on and trying to put on a character that isn't really you.
And I don't mean to cut you off. This is exactly, and this is my opinion, and I hope I'm completely wrong, but they are recasting Vanderpump Rules.
Yeah.
And this is the problem, I think, with reality TV, in what I'm doing. You have to get somebody you have to get a group of people that are already existing. My friends already existed. That drama, that chaos was there for years.
Yes.
So they came in, they didn't have to do shit. They just filmed. Now they're casting a show, and they have huge shoes to fill.
Yes.
Okay? Vanderpump, the cast was amazing. The show was huge, right? But now you're casting people. We need Cindy to like Susie. We need Susie not really to like Jimmy. Jimmy has to make out with Danny, but he also has to make out with Susie. So, and reality people are very, very smart. The viewers are very smart. They can tell authenticity versus somebody who's trying to put it on. And that's why I think when they try to copy Vanderpump Rules, when they try to copy The Valley, it's inauthentic because they want it so bad and they create unnecessary fights that don't make any sense. Like, we could tell you're trying to pick a fight here. It doesn't make any sense. Stop trying so hard.
The thing about reality's stranger than fiction, okay? And this happens every season on The Challenge. The shit that goes down, totally unexpected, without production interfering at all, is so much more entertaining and so much more fucking awesome than something that they could have scripted.
Right.
The other thing, and I think this happens with The Challenge too, you have a loyal fan base who has followed you for how long?
I've been 14 years.
14 years. They like people like what they've already got.
Yeah.
It's like learning I'm to the age now where it's like, dude, when I downloaded TikTok, I'm like, fuck, man, I don't want to learn a new social media platform.
Yeah.
A new app. I don't want to learn how to edit shit. Once you get to it, you're happy with what you got and you want to stick with that. And they can't, the challenge is the same way. You can't take out fan favorites. You can't take out people that these fans have grown to love and grown to know and grown to be familiar with. Take them out, plug all these new people in, and expect all these fans to just be like, all right, yeah, I'm going to buy into this new.
Because
it doesn't happen.
People who watch our show they grew up with us. Like you said, they don't want new shit.
No.
Just like us. They don't want the new crap.
No.
Now you got to build the generation from. We can get into that for it. Anyway, my next thing. Now let's get into some tea here. Sandoval on the traders.
Yeah.
Quote unquote his sweaty armpits. What are your thoughts on this? I know he's a sweater. By the way, he is a sweater. He's been sweating his whole life. But you think he would have known?
Let's take your shirt off.
So I didn't see him on there. So he's pitting it out.
Okay, here's the deal. And the breakfast, even though I never made it to a breakfast, okay, because I was murdered first. That room, we were in there once. That in the castle, especially when it's cold, it's fucking hot. And he was wearing that, Mr. Rogers, really thick, like Mr. Rogers sweater.
Yeah.
Like you said, he's a sweater anyways. I don't know. I don't sweat a lot, but if I did, I'm not going to wear a gray shirt. I'd do like black or something.
Dude, you know how he is, man. He's just so into what he looks like.
Yeah.
He's very, I love him to death. He's very insecure.
Here's what I feel bad about, though, with Tom, is I feel like now, because of all of the shit that that obviously has been thrown his way, justifiably or not, anything the guy does now is turned into a meme or is made fun of.
Yeah.
Anyone else, dude, if you would have had Boston Rob or Wes or anyone else with their shirt up their sweat stains, no one gives a shit.
Right.
But because it's Tom, anything that happens to him that could in any way, shape, or form be like made fun of or poked fun at, he's just like a walking punchline. And I think that at some point it's like, yo, I get it. Like, he did what he did, but I feel like he's done his time. Right?
I feel the same way, and I've said this to everybody. Yeah, what he did was wrong. I get it, but he's done his time.
Yeah.
Okay?
The punishment at this point doesn't fit the crime.
But the problem with Tom is, and I always think a comeback is better than the original story, in my opinion, but I just don't think I think it hurt him so bad. He's not the same guy anymore after this. And I think it's going to take a lot for him to realize, like, for instance, I think right now he should be rebuilding his brand. And for instance, you wanted him on your podcast? What did he say?
He's getting a chemical peel.
Okay, so his priorities are so effed up.
Yeah.
He doesn't say, hey, listen, I need a plan. I have structure. This is what I want to do.
Yeah.
He's just living by the seat of his pants. And it's not his fault. I really think that he had some serious trauma. He's got PTSD.
Anyone on earth, all right, and I've been in this game a long fucking time, and I have dealt with, I feel like, a lot of public scrutiny for things that I've done in the past, which I may or may not have deserved. The amount of negativity and public scrutiny that this guy was under I remember it happened, all this shit got out like right before I went away for one of my challenges. These challenges are 10 weeks long, dude.
Yeah.
I got back 10 weeks later.
Still going.
And it was still fucking like rabid dogs. And I'm like, guys, at what point does the news cycle change?
Yeah.
And it's like we just kind of get on with things. So it's like,
well, normally it does. Come on, we've been in the news before, right? It's on for a week, it's gone, it's forgot about. This is one thing that just didn't forgot about. Yeah. No matter what happened, there was a lot of events from the time he's done that to the time now. People are still talking about, like.
Let me ask you this, because you're more in obviously the know and more like in that world. Why was it such a big deal? Listen, we've been in the entertainment industry for a long time. People cheat, right?
Yeah.
And there's people who've cheated.
Michael Jordan cheated. Kobe Bryant cheated. Like huge people have cheated.
The dude from Adam Levine from fucking Maroon 5.
What?
I think it became such headlines and didn't die down because, yes, we've heard a ton of different cheating scandals, but we've never been able to actively watch the cheating scandal kind of happen with the Easter eggs dropped, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because they were keeping it secret while they were filming that entire time. So the things that we were seeing, like I think when he had grabbed, Rachel's butt at the time and different things that he said to Ariana, it was just amazing television, honestly, to watch back.
I guess it was. It was kind of almost like a scripted show.
It's almost like, okay, the Titanic, right?
Yeah.
That happened over 100 years ago, right? Now, it was a terrible disaster, but there have been worse disasters than that, and there have been a lot of other disasters, but for some reason, the Titanic is like ingrained into our psyche. And it's like sometimes things like, I guess, stories just catch fire the way that others don't. And again, I feel like that somehow was like the Titanic of relationship breakups of our time. But I agree. I think the way that I see him now, especially on TV, is I almost feel like he's like you said, he's got like PTSD. He's like shell-shocked. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I think, because his best friend Schwartz reaches out to him all the time, and he just can't get through to him. Like, he can't get through to him. But anyway, enough about him. Is there any shows you're watching right now, by the way?
I'm watching Traitors, obviously.
Watching Traitors?
Not to stay on the topic of Tom, but I think, in a way, somehow Tom is playing he's playing the game perfectly. The thing about Traitors, and I think a lot of people don't realize this, is there's so many gamers that come in and they feel like they need to move and manipulate and move every piece. Like, they need to be thinking like chess. If I move this piece, what's going to happen? You look at the people who I think are doing great in the game. Carolyn, who's one of the Traitors, who is a total fucking space cadet, has no idea what's going on. And then Tom, who in a way is as well. And I actually texted him the other day when I watched the episode. After the Traitors are chosen, he unknowingly goes up to two of them and goes, I totally trust you guys. He doesn't know they're traitors. Literally walks up to two of the traitors who are responsible for murdering people and goes, I got a good feeling about you two. I'm pretty sure you guys are faithfuls. And by doing that now, the heat is off of him. He is never getting murdered. Now, he might get banished, but the traitors are never going to go after him because he has one of the hardest things to do in that game is get what's called traitor angels, which is traitors that are basically looking over you and aren't going to murder you because they don't see you as a threat. He didn't know he was doing that, but he managed to do it. He managed to luck himself in this amazing position where now he's basically kind of protected from murder.
Do you think he wins?
I don't know. I wouldn't be surprised if he did. Again, I think there's so much focus on this game placed on the gamers.
Yeah.
They're the ones that everyone's assuming are moving all the pieces and they usually are. So I think people who aren't familiar, like I feel like you would have done great on Traitors because it's a game show, but the people who aren't good at game shows usually are the ones that are more like left alone.
I hope to be on it. So Traitors, are you guys listening? I would like to be on it. If we can, fit with my schedule, that'd be awesome. But it looks like an interesting. I just haven't got around to it. I'm still stuck on Tell Me Lies right now. I'm obsessed with that fucking show.
Haven't seen it.
Oh
yet.
My god, it's so good.
I just started watching the new O.J. Simpson documentary. Shout out to my boy Aaron Ginsberg on Netflix. He was one of the producers of it.
Ooh, I got to watch that.
Bro, okay, so the 30 for 30 that they did years ago about the O.J. Simpson documentary, in my opinion, was it was one of the greatest documentaries I've ever seen. This one, I'm only up to episode 2. The amount they go, here's what's cool about this documentary is they're showing all of the evidence that didn't make it into court, which is insane. There was a bloody fingerprint on the doorknob at O.J. Simpson's house, never entered into evidence. There was a woman who basically almost got into a car accident with O.J. Simpson right outside Nicole's house. Again, never brought in as a witness. So there's so much stuff that happened that, again, kind of what we were talking about before. There have been other murders in the past, celebrity murders, but for some reason the O.J. Simpson captivates our minds, and here we are 30 years later still talking about it.
Do you think that social media has changed modern dating and relationships? Do you think it's also changed, the gaming competition shows? Let me start with the competition shows. So I think social media has played a different role in definitely in my kind of sitcoms.
Everything.
I think so too. It's definitely done everything. You're right. But do you think it's played a huge role in the competition games? Do you look? Is it a factor now?
Yes, and here's why. And I'm just speaking from my show. The challenge used to be you'd compete, right? And then whatever sparks fly during that season, you talk shit.
Do you think social media though can factor
social
an outcome?
Media keeps it going year round,
right? And that's good for you.
It is in a way, but here's why it's not. Because now what's happened is they call them T pages, Stan pages, fan accounts. You guys have them for Vanderpump as well, whose only role is to basically continue creating controversy and ginning up drama. And they have their people that they support.
These people are cults, by the way.
Cults, bro.
They start they are. I know in my world,
and it's scary because it's if their main goal is to find dirt.
It's their only thing.
And to try and, like, they support the people that they like, and they go after the people that they don't.
You don't even know, man. Lori's not, like, she'll tell you, like, she tells me, like, these people are on my ass like flies on shit. Like, I step out, I go to the gas station, they catch me.
Yeah.
I'm not, like, what are you doing? You know, like, the next day, like, I will go get some burger, and I was talking to somebody. Jax Taylor talking, who the fuck is following me, and why? Like, I'm nobody. What are you doing?
You know, I watched quite a bit of Vanderpump, and the guy that you are on Vanderpump could not be more different than the guy when I was on House of Villains and we were outside working out or fucking hanging out by the pool. Could not be a more different version of who you are. This is what I always say. Johnny Bananas is not just my on-screen persona. It's also a protective mechanism to keep people away, right? So when I come on camera, when I'm on TV, and I have this larger-than-life personality and character that is sarcastic and never takes anything seriously and everything's a joke, you can attack that persona and it's not going to affect me. If I came on TV and I was me and I was the vulnerable fucking, like, real me, that's somebody that you can get to. So it's like I've almost created, like, this persona.
That's really,
on
really,
TV
really interesting.
That's really interesting. People at a distance. And the hard thing, though, is when I am filming a lot or I'm filming for long periods of time, it's finding out where Johnny Bananas starts and where John DiVinanzio begins, or vice versa. Because even sometimes I'll come back and friends of mine, family, ex-girlfriends that I've had, they'd be like, all right, like, enough with the bananas.
Punch out. Yeah, check out.
Yeah.
Some people don't do that. They don't know how to check out. Speaking of girls, you dating anybody?
I mean, a little bit here and there. My life, I'm dating my career. My life right now is a little too chaotic.
I know. Explain real quick what Rumble is.
Rumble,
yeah. You got this cool boxing gym, Rumble. Explain what you did, how you got there.
So Rumble,
shortly.
Yes. I have some friends. They actually are the founders of Rumble, Noah Neiman and Andy, and they started in New York. They branched out, got bought out by a big fitness brand called Exponential, franchised, and I bought a franchise in South Florida. I actually bought 3 franchises, but we've started with one in South Florida. It's basically like Barry's boot camp meets boxing. I mean, it's cardio on bags, and then it's high intensity training.
Is it doing well?
It's doing really well.
You're in Fort Lauderdale, yeah?
We're in Boca.
Sorry.
Just north of Fort Lauderdale. Great area, great. You know.
And you're there. Are you in California at all anymore?
Yeah, I mean, I'm here. I'm trying to do 51-50. I'm trying to do 51% Florida, 50 California.
Jealous.
So I'm not
Florida.
paying fucking California taxes anymore.
I know. The taxes here are insane. I'm so jealous. I've been talking about moving to Florida for so long. How much do you love Florida more than California?
It's the land of the free, bro.
Do you still have your house?
Yeah.
You renting it out?
My nephew's living there right now.
Oh, nice.
So I have an 18-year-old nephew who's going to college out here. He's a fantastic musician, so he's keeping an eye on the place.
When Reality Hits is sponsored by Quince. Who doesn't love the good things in life? Even though I enjoy a little luxury, it doesn't mean I can always afford it. Until I discovered Quince. Quince is my go-to for luxury essentials at affordable prices. Quince offers a high range of quality items at prices within reach, like 100% Mongolian cashmere sweaters, washable silk tops and dresses, organic cotton sweaters, and 14-karat gold jewelry. The best part, all Quince items are priced 50 to 80% less than similar brands. By partnering directly with top factories, Quince cuts out the cost of the middleman and passes the savings on to us. And Quince only works with factories that use safe, ethical, and responsible manufacturing practices and premium fabrics and finishes. I love that. I love everything that I've gotten from Quince. I have like the waffle robe that is so soft and so beautiful. It is amazing. Jax has always loved the t-shirts, and I used to sleep in them whenever we still lived together because they were so soft. He is obsessed with them. Everything I've gotten from there has been amazing quality and at such a great price point. So give yourself the luxury you deserve with Quince. Go to quince.com/JB for free shipping on your order and a 365-day returns. That's QUINCE.com/JB to get free shipping and 365-day returns. Quince.com/JB.
But here's the thing, dude. I love Florida, but it's always nice to come back.
I love Florida so much. Like out of all the places in the world, it's my favorite place. I've been trying to get there forever.
Visit, man. Anytime.
Well,
you got.
It's harder now. I got a son here. I can come down there for a visit. I wanted to move, but I got a baby kid now, and going through this mess, and got a show, and I'm trying to get another Jax's in Florida. We're trying to think about moving a Jax's to we're opening one to Delray.
Fuck yeah, dude.
One of my partners.
That's
wants to
right
open
next.
Delray.
I mean, that's where my next Rumble's going to be. Is in Delray.
That'd be awesome, man.
Delray Beach.
Yeah, I'm trying to, maybe Schwartz and I get some together, but that's the talk right now. Not for sure, but that's the talk. So, hey, listen, as you know, this podcast, right? It's called In the Mind of a Man, right? So a lot of this we talk about, like, the toxic dating behaviors, and it's pretty much everything that I've done in life. So let
you
me
and me both.
That's who we are. That's why I think we get along. How would you describe yourself in dating terms? Because I know you're kind of like, would you consider yourself a serial dater?
Yes.
So are you a toxic player?
I used to be.
Okay, let me get into this. You used to be. You used to be a year ago, 5 years ago.
So here's what I've changed, okay? When people talk about, like, the term gaslighting, okay?
Oh, God, it's another word they throw around every day.
I know. But once I kind of learned, like, what gaslighting was, I'm like, damn, dude, I used to do that a lot and not even realize that I was doing it. I did it
because there was no
term
for it. We didn't know there was a term.
So what I would do, and I realized this, and it never felt good when I was doing it, but I knew that, and whether I was in a relationship or dating, I would do things that were not right. But what I would do is I would find a way to basically make it the person's fault that I was dating. Yes, I did this, but you caused it.
Yeah.
And the definition of toxicity or manipulation is when you address the person's reaction, not your behavior that caused the action.
Yeah, I do that a lot.
So I don't. So this is the thing. I used to, and I want to apologize to some of my exes back in the day, because that's a
whole nother podcast. By the way,
because that's what I did, and because here's why. I wanted to be able to have the relationship and be in the relationship, but then also still be able to do whatever the fuck I wanted to do.
Yeah.
Okay. And now I think part of this is just what imprinted on me, maybe from growing up. I grew up in a single parent household. My parents were divorced when I was very young. Marriage never made sense to me because I never saw it. My dad dated.
That's really interesting.
My mom dated.
Marriage never made sense to me because I never saw it.
I never saw it.
I never saw.
What I saw was my dad in long distance relationships.
Yeah.
He'd have a girlfriend that come over on the weekend. My mom was in short term relationships as well.
Like wow.
So growing up, the idea of marriage just never made sense to me. Then when I went on reality TV. And now I am a celebrity for doing absolutely nothing, and I'm going to bars and clubs, and every time I go out, it's just you are inundated with, girls wanting to meet you and girls wanting to hang out. It just made it very difficult to be in a committed relationship. But I still tried it.
Yeah, you tried it.
Here's the thing.
But at least you're self-aware. At least you know. At least say, listen, this is what you get. And I think you and I now are at that age where I'm going through a divorce where now when I don't see myself ever getting in another relationship, but who knows? Do you think you're going to get married? Do you think you're going to have kids?
Yeah.
I mean, we're not getting any younger. If you have one now, you'll be 60, right? By the time he goes to college.
Al Pacino just had a baby at 89.
I know.
All right?
He's going to have to watch his dad's movies to figure out who he is. Because let's be honest, he's not going to make it that much longer.
Here's the thing, and I think you understand this, and a lot of people that live in this world. This is a very, very, very difficult world to be successful in and stay successful in. And I think one of the reasons that I've managed to build the brand that I have and stay as successful as I have is I never kind of veered off course. And again, I think one of the drawbacks to that is I haven't started a family. I don't have kids. I don't have.
Is it on the back of your mind?
It of course it is. Because I look at all of my friends, you included. Mm-hmm. I'm like, Jax has a kid. Like my best friend or business partner, his son is my godson. My sisters both have kids.
But you don't have to. I don't think it's people are always like, do you have kids? It's like such a terrible thing to ask people. Yeah. Do you have kids? When are you going to have another one? Are you married? Why not?
I just think that
shut up. Let me live my life. We got enough. Look at all the divorce rate. Okay. You're looking at one right now. Yeah. You close your eyes, throw a rock, you're going to hit somebody who's divorced. And
like you were saying before about social media, I think social media, while there are a lot of ways it's beneficial, it is probably, it is, I think, what is responsible for so much failed relationships and marriage, because growing up, we're around the same age. we had one fucking phone in the house.
Yeah.
Right? Cell phones didn't exist.
Nope.
Social media didn't exist.
Nope.
Guess what? The girl you dated probably lived within a mile of your house.
Yes.
Your pool was this big, dude.
Yeah.
Now your pool is the entire fucking world.
Yeah.
So that's the thing. So there's so much more. You have there's so much more availability than there used to be, and it takes some type of person with a lot of self-control, which ain't you and I,
right,
to be able to have the power of social media in your hands and like not take advantage of it.
I can't argue with you. I can't argue. I've cheated on pretty much every girlfriend that I've had, but I've never cheated in my marriage.
Fine. I'm not talking about the marriage. I'm just talking about in general. Here's the thing. You giving Jax and I a career in reality TV and social media with a large following is like giving a 16-year-old the keys to a fucking Lamborghini. You're not going to drive slow.
He's right. That's a great way to put it.
So, and it's to no fault of our own. This is the comparison I always like to make. Because I was an econ major, and I remember they told us this. Going into Baskin-Robbins is one of the most stressful situations. Because
really
there are 31 fucking flavors to choose from. So when you go in, not only can you not decide what flavor you want, even after you sample 10 of them, once you decide on one, you're looking at what your friend got, and you're like, oh, fuck.
I know.
Did I make the wrong choice?
I know. Is this one going to hurt my stomach if I mix it with this one?
Or should I have gotten the bubble gum or fucking cheesy fudge crunch, whatever? Now, imagine going into an ice cream shop where there's 3 flavors, vanilla, strawberry, and chocolate. You're going to pick which one you like, and you're going to be fine with your decision because, A, there's not a whole lot of other options, and B, it's a lot easier. So that would be like when you say, are you ever going to settle down? I feel like in order to do that, I need to move out of the L.A., South Florida, Baskin-Robbins area.
But nobody's making you, man. It's okay to be selfish.
To fucking, I don't know, Idaho, the middle of fucking nowhere.
Yeah, but you would be miserable. You would be miserable. You put yourself, ideally you want this, people say that all the time. I just want to move to the middle of nowhere and do this. Yeah, that would be fine for 5 minutes, but we're not built that way. And hey, getting back to your little ice cream situation here, I think that's awesome. But I'm the type of guy that I like, you ever had, like, first of all, I love McDonald's. I love it. But I know 5 minutes after, I'm going to be on the bathroom. Yeah. But I do it anyway, right? It's the same thing with the ice cream flavors with the girls. I know this girl is bad for me, but I'm going to do it anyway.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, dude, I'm telling you, bro, it's, and again, I honestly, it's hard because I don't think that human beings, and especially like, here's the other reason when you're like, oh, marriages, the fail rate of marriage is higher now. People used to stay together a lot longer. Yes, it's because they weren't exposed to the type of shit that we're exposed to. This fucking device right here, okay? And then on top of this device, having social media and having TikTok and having Instagram and having millions of people at your fingertips on a daily basis, it's why a lot of people have fucking other people running their social media accounts. Which
I know, because it literally, I recently just got out of, this is a side note here. I recently just got out of rehab, right? And they took my phone away from me. And I've never in my life had my phone taken away from me. And I got to say, the first 24 hours, I was losing it. But after that, I didn't want to see my phone. I was like, you know what? I'm okay. But it's almost like a test to see what would happen, an experiment, right? But they take your phone away, they give it back. But I was like, you know what? I don't want it. And then I took it for like an hour a day. That's what I did. But it was fucking hard. Giving my phone up is like,
when we do the challenge, we don't have a phone for 9 weeks. We don't have a phone for the entire time.
So how do you take care of business?
So you can have like a laptop, right? Or if you need to like you have a point of contact that then they'll send everything to, and then if production needs to send a text or an email, they'll do it.
Pay a bill, pay a car note.
A lot of times you get all that shit squared away before you go. If it's something really serious like that, they'll give you your computer, whatever. But the most amazing thing happens when you remove these devices from us because we are so fucking dependent upon them. Uh-huh. They take them away, and guess what we start doing? And this happened on House of Villains to an extent.
Yeah.
Bro, you start talking. You start communicating. You start laying around telling stories and laughing and communicating. And the games we come up with, we're in the backyard inventing games on the Challenge House. And like in the pool. And it's so funny because we're all out there. You literally, your imagination just like blossoms.
Like we were kids.
And you turn back into a kid. And you know what? You look around, you see all the people on production.
Yeah.
And they're sitting in the corner, just sitting there scrolling. Meanwhile, we're over. And it's such a good for me. It's like a electronic device detox.
Yeah.
Like, it's almost like you go to rehab for your device, dude. And then
Right, it's exactly right. It was exactly right. That was part of my rehab. I got to say, it goes along with it. But legally, though, people keep asking me, this is a big question that everyone knows I go rip. How come I had my phone? And I found out, legally, by law, the state of California cannot take away your cell phone for more than 3 days. Because everyone was like, you went to rehab, but you had your phone. I went to 2 different rehabs, and they both gave me my phone back. And I was like, this is not – I even went to the owners. I'm like, this is not right. You guys should take away my phone. They're like, we legally cannot take away your phones. It's a law. It's a law.
Well,
so
you could give it to them and just tell them to hold on.
Yeah, but, people are going to check in on it anyway. But you know how that works. So I guess this is my next question. But, like, I don't even want to ask this because I'm nowhere near that. And I kind of like what you have to say. I'm just really enjoying I'm not enjoying divorce. Divorce is the hardest thing in my life that I've ever gone through, and I lost a father, and this is harder than that. It's just been hell. People ask me, do you ever want to date again? And I'm like, you know what? That's the last thing on my mind. I have a son. My son is my number one priority. I love him more than anything, and I'm just trying to make sure that I can see him, be with him as much as possible. But I'm doing the best I can. Brittany's going to be very fair with me. I get to see him more than I actually that the court's going to say. So that's the tough part. And my son, he's young enough now not to know what's going to happen in the future. So,
what was your growing up? What was your parent? What was your?
My parents were married. When I grew up, there was no parents divorced. You want to know why? The parents that should have been divorced didn't do it for the sake of the kids. And men just lived in their marriage. They just said, well, fuck it. This marriage is not great, but I'm going to stay in it anyway and stick it out.
So the way that
they're miserable. And I know so many of my buddies' friends, my dad and my mother alone were miserable. Yeah. They were miserable. They should have never stayed married.
Yeah. You and Brittany, though, I think what you guys are doing, keeping it civil, because I grew up.
I've got a friend of mine that's going through hell right now.
I grew up when my parents divorced, I grew up in a very hostile. My parents hated each other.
Yeah.
And it was hell on us.
Yeah.
I was 5 years old, and when I was with my dad, I couldn't say my mom's name.
Yeah,
because
that's exactly where I don't want it to go.
So I mean, they're great now, and and I think we've realized over the years they're so different. Like, they did not belong together in the beginning. They created amazing children, but I think the best thing you guys could do for your son is to remain civil
and amicable. And I told Brittany this. I go, and I think she agrees with me. We are, whether you like it or not, I'm in your life for the rest of your life. For the rest of your life. Yes. So we can go to war and create tension and stress out our son.
Yep.
Or we can be amicable. You don't got to like me. No. You don't got to love me anymore. Whatever. But let's just be civil for our little boy. Because at the end of the day, that's all that matters.
Yeah.
We were together for 10, 11 years and married for 4.
That's a lifetime. I mean, that's the thing, dude. Is
I like to say that my marriage is completed.
Here's when you are with someone for that long and then they're no longer part of your life, that is the equivalent to somebody dying.
Yeah.
That's the equivalent.
Yeah.
Now, they're still alive. They're not technically, but they're dead in the sense of like what your relationship was. And the grieving process for that, I mean, there's no telling how long it's going to take for you to like recover from that. There's no time period. There's no timetable. There's no right way to do it. And that's the thing is like, yeah, dude, you lost a loved one. You lost someone who's very important to you. And again, the way your brain sees it, the way your brain experiences it, there's not a big difference between somebody dying and then you losing someone in a relationship. Your brain, it affects your brain the same way.
And it sucks because I felt like my friends, because we all have the same friend group, and I felt like my friends are going through a divorce too. And they're always like, Jax, do you mind if we hang out with Brittany? Because she has parties at her house, her birthday party. Do you mind if we go? And I'm like, listen, I'm not that guy. You go enjoy. I don't want you guys to feel bad. A lot of my friends are married and their wives are friends with Brittany. And that's the part right now because, like, for instance, she had a birthday party and I didn't go. And a lot of my friends went and they were all like, Jax, are you okay? Thanksgiving dinner, I wasn't there. Jax, are you okay? And I'm totally fine. Does it hurt? Absolutely. It hurts me to the core. But I also am mature enough to say, hey, listen, she's your friend too, and go support her and go, it's important to me. But it does suck because we're used to having these parties together and her doing things on her own without me. It hurts me. It hurts me. And I have a heart, believe it or not. I know a lot of people think I don't, but I just real quick, if you were to go on a date tomorrow, I'm good. Let's sidetrack here. If you were to go on a date tomorrow, what's your ideal first date right now? Girl of your dreams tomorrow. You're going out to eat. You're in LA. Okay. You get up in the morning, you go to the gym, you take a shower, have something to eat. You're about to meet this girl. Where do you go?
I'm a activities person. I would love to like go to the beach, go surf.
Because dating right now is very hard. It's an interview, first of all. Let's be honest. First dates are interviews. They're not real dates.
Yeah.
So, like, you want to see if this person's active. You're an active guy. Okay, so you're going to find somebody. You don't like a bougie girl.
No, I like to see what someone's comfort zone is, too.
Right.
Like,
Make them feel uncomfortable on the first date?
That's going to happen anyways. But, like, I love a girl that could be like, hey, I want to get dressed up and I want to, like, go to, this fucking black tie event, but I could also go camping.
Yeah. Okay.
That's what I want. Get you a girl that could do both. That's kind of like I'm not a big fan of like overly high maintenance people.
Yeah, I
love a girl that could like wear my clothes.
That's what I like.
T-shirt around all the time. No,
but it's just hot. I like that.
I don't want you to wake up in the morning and feel like you need to put makeup on.
Yeah, I don't like that either.
I want you to be like comfortable around me. Here's the other thing, and this is what's got me into trouble in the past. I don't even like to go out. I make all my own fucking food. Yeah. I'm a bachelor, dude. I've been a bachelor for a long time. I do all my own shit, my own laundry. I cook, I clean. I love to cook. The amount of, I've invited girls over in the past, do you want to go out to dinner? I'm like, nah, let's just make dinner instead. The problem is there are so few guys in this world these days that, are nice and, give a shit and are kind of, mature. Yeah. That to a girl means so much more. I agree. Than just let's make dinner. You know what I mean? Because, again, there's a lot of dickheads out there. You know, I like to think of myself as a reformed dickhead, but again, I get into trouble then because it sends a certain message like, oh, this is more than just a date.
You're putting thought into it.
When Reality Hits is sponsored by JLo Beauty. Have you seen those memes lately about how guys versus girls wash their face? Why are guys so aggressive with how they wash? And why do they use the same bar of soap on their face that they use on their feet? I will never understand. What I do understand and love is JLo Beauty's simple, hard-working skincare routine. You can get that JLo glow with JLo Beauty's Deluxe Kit, the one-and-done skincare solution clinically proven to boost your skin's radiance and luminosity for an immediate and lasting glow. My favorite product right now is that Blockbuster Hydrating Cream. My skin is so much more plump and dewy, and I see why 100% of people from an 8-week clinical study who tried it had smoother skin, and I love the container. I leave my JLo Deluxe Kit out on my dresser on display. It's so chic and so affordable. So try that JLo Beauty Deluxe Kit for 60 days. If you're not completely satisfied, just return the bottles, even if they're empty, and get your money back. Get the only skincare routine you'll ever need. Head to jlobeauty.com/realityhits to receive 20% off plus 3 free limited time offer gifts. Head to jlobeauty.com/realityhits for 20% off and 3 free limited time offer gifts. A $175 value. jlobeauty.com/realityhits. I love it.
Is this thing on? I'm Caitlin Bristow, host of Off the Vine podcast, where I get real. Well, maybe a little too real sometimes, with my friends and celeb guests from Bachelor franchise and beyond. I'm talking guests like Jonathan Van Ness, Nikki Glazer, Wells Adams, Elise Myers,
just in this business jacket, I would love some tacos.
Heidi D'Amelio, Big Brother's Taylor Hale.
I have to bring it up because it happened and we're going to get through it.
What'd I do?
And so many more. So come hang out with us, hear ridiculous confessions, and get a little vulnerable because you know what? We're all just floating on this weird little planet together. Follow, rate, and review Off the Vine podcast wherever you listen to your podcasts.
I got one last question because we're running out of time. Real quick, one-word answer. Yeah. What's your biggest ick and when you're dating a girl? What just drives you crazy that you can't get
hygiene?
Over? Hygiene. Number one thing.
It's got to be, dude. It's got to be hygiene. I mean, or cleanliness.
Right.
Dude, I'm
a
very clean person.
Me too.
And a girl that doesn't
messy car drives me nuts.
You know what they say, dude, is cleanliness is next to godliness. And a lot of times the way, and this is true for guys too. The better they keep their surroundings, their environment, the better they take care of themselves.
Right.
And the amount of times that I've met girls and I'm just like, dude, you eat like crap, like you don't take care of yourself, your place is a fucking mess. That is a direct reflection of like you. Now, again, if I was a messy fuck and if I was, I would be hypocritical, but I like to keep my surroundings very neat, and that's just how I've always been.
Same me. Healthy life, structure, consistency. I got one final question because I know Johnny's got. Well, we got to get to lunch after this.
Yeah.
So this is a question from a listener. Okay. I'm going to read this. Hi, Jax. I've been with my husband for 12 years. When I met him, he told me that he has a hard time climaxing during sex. He is a heavy drinker, and he's also on anger management medication. With this particular medication, it can contribute to this very thing. Even knowing this, it is starting to make me feel really insecure. I may be fighting a war I can't win. But do you have any advice on things a woman can do to make her man finish the finish line?
Yes. Stop drinking, get off the medication. That's it. I mean, dude, that's what you watch every single pharmaceutical commercial. It'll literally say could lead to erectile dysfunction.
Everyone.
Here, like, honestly, and how old is this guy?
Well, I don't know, but the thing about getting off the anger management, well,
by lowering his testosterone.
That it does lower. I am on medication that's similar to this.
Yeah,
and
I don't have a problem.
I went and got my testosterone checked actually, and I have the testosterone of a 25-year-old. They said right now, like everything's clean, but they just said, listen, you have really, really high testosterone.
Here's the thing: the older you get, and this is men and women, okay. The older you get, again, the healthier you need to be, and the more you need to take care of yourself in order for your body to function the way it did. And that's everything. That's not just your penis. Yeah. That's your heart. That's your liver. That's your lungs. That's your arteries. That's everything. So if this guy is a heavy drinker,
quit the alcohol, at least, for sure. For sure, quit the alcohol.
That's gonna fuck up his system. It's just gonna make it hard. So, honey, it's not you.
It's not gonna make it hard.
It's not. It's not you. It's him.
Yeah, he's gonna want to have to change. He's gonna have to make some sacrifices here. Obviously, get rid of the drinking. Maybe check on a different medication. Also, you know what? They make a lot of things out there now. Blue Chew and all these other drinks. Have you ever taken one of those pills, by the way?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, I've taken it one. Let me tell you the story really quick. I've taken a pill a long, long time ago, and I wasn't even trying to meet somebody. I just wanted to try it. It's when Viagra was starting out, right?
Yeah.
And my buddy gave me a pill. I tried it, and I had a hard on for 8 hours. 8 fucking hours, and I didn't know what to do with it. I was putting it in my waistband. I was uncomfortable. I thought I had to go to the hospital. It was the most uncomfortable situation I've ever been in. Like that thing, I was like, what is going on?
What'd you take?
It was a half of a Viagra. Mind you, I was probably 26 or 7 years old.
Okay, so
I had no reason being taking that at all.
The worst experience. The worst experience I had.
It's so uncomfortable.
We went. I know we were going to party. Like, we were in Atlantic City. I knew we were going to get after it. So we stopped at 7-Eleven. I bought one of those Rhino fucking silver bullet boner. It was the worst fucking. I've never had same thing happened. I just had like this erection that wouldn't go away, and I had the worst headache.
Yeah, it causes headaches.
I woke up the next day, and I'm like, this isn't a hangover headache. It felt like somebody stuck an ice pick through my temple.
That's the common thing that people say.
Never again, dude.
Everybody I talked about that does these, and I have a lot of buddies that take these. I mean, we're getting at the age that we're getting up there that people are taking them because it kind of relieves the pressure.
Yeah.
You know you're going to get hard, right?
Yeah,
you don't have to worry about it. So the main thing that people say is the migraines afterwards. The migraines are horrific. Dude, horrific. But
it's a vasodilator. That's what it does. It pumps a bunch of blood into your brain, I guess.
I know. All right, well, we got to go get some lunch, buddy. But I'm so happy that you came on. I'm so excited about your company, Rumble. Do you want to plug anything?
I mean, if you guys don't already, follow me on social media at Johnny Bananas. It's across all platforms. And again, if you're ever in South Florida, you want to get a workout in, come by Rumble. We're in East Boca. And then, I've got some fun projects coming up. I'm going to fill you in more on the docuseries we're doing. Love to have you be a part of it at some point. I appreciate it, man. Fun chopping it up, dude.
I love it. Let's go grab a bite to eat. Thank you guys for listening this week. We'll see you next week. Thanks for being here. Talk to you later.
All right, man.
At Pluto TV, we're celebrating Black History Month with our curated collection of Black content, all streaming for free. Find groundbreaking films, including Selma, Django Unchained, Ali, and Coach Carter.
You have an incredible gift up here.
Gripping series like Power and The Game, next-level comedies, music video channels, and more. Brilliant Black entertainment, intentionally curated, and all free. This month and always on Pluto TV. Stream now, pay never.